Hello, television family. We're back out of here Monday, 29th day of December, 2025. Just 3 days left in the year. For some people, good riddance. We hope you had. We had, of course, had a 4-day weekend. I hope that the big fat guy treated you well. We weren't here last Thursday. We weren't here last Friday, so we had a 4-day weekend, and we had such a good time. We're going to do it again this weekend. We won't be here on New Year's Day, Thursday, nor on Friday, the 2nd. So 2 back-to-back 4-day weekends. I wonder what I'm going to do with myself. Anyway, as we coast towards the end of the year, we're going to have quite a bit of sunshine for the next 3 days, pretty dry. Temperatures bumping back up to a little bit above normal. This time of the year, when we get a ridge of high pressure that makes itself felt and we have clear skies, then we have clear skies. Temperatures get pretty cold, especially at night. It takes us a while to warm up. But when we have clouds and fog and high pressure, then we have the air inversion, which is something we're very used to around here. And that's going to start happening Wednesday night. By the time we get to Thursday, New Year's Day, going to be pretty cloudy, considerably warmer than we should see this time of the year, but we're going to start seeing that air inversion work its way into the valley Wednesday night, and not going to see a lot of sunshine for the new year. Could see some snow in the upper elevations, a little rain down here. All those details are coming up, but the next 3 days are looking pretty good. Sunday was a pleasant day. Yesterday, as a matter of fact, our high temperature was 29. It was the first day all month that our daily high temperature was actually below normal. Yeah, I kid you not. Weather details coming up, news, sports, yes, lots. Tons of sports to get to. And one of my favorite interviews from the year that's about ready to pass us by, when we had a chance to go down and see the brand new headquarters of the Chelan-Douglas Community Action Council. Of course, they moved in some of their services and facilities about a year ago, and then they finally got the office moved in. That was in late October. I got down and got to take a tour with Alan Walker with some really cool before and after photos. It's a beautiful facility. They're all under one roof. It took them 5 years to get this project done. We're going to take a little walk down memory lane with Alan Walker, the Executive Director of the Chelan-Douglas Community Action Council. In the back half of the program, it's tour time. Should get some spectacular shots. Days are getting longer. There's proof of that. That is from our Wenatchee Heights camera. Looking down towards Rock Island Dam, you can see a pretty good dose of East Wenatchee all the way up to the airport. Some of those server farms up there cranking out the random series of zeros and ones outside of a few high clouds. Pretty nice. It's 25 degrees. It's a little on the cool side. You may be scraping your windshield if you park outside. This is pretty cool. That's our Omi Garden camera, and we have it zipped right on up to Mission Ridge. Of course, they've expanded the night skiing. The old night skiing hill is the one on your left. They've had night skiing there for a long time. Then, of course, a few years ago, they added more lights on the main runs at Mission Ridge. Yeah, it's beautiful. They're busy. This is their busiest time of the year. No school. A lot of people taking some downtime during the holidays, and so Mission Ridge gets pretty busy, and they could use that. Of course, for the folks from the western side of the mountains, to get to Mission Ridge is a pain in the rear end, and they depend on those western Washington skiers, but they have to take the long way to get there. Of course, you can now get to Stevens Pass. You just can't get over Stevens Pass. You probably know that by now. That's the Billy Go camera heading on up. Good morning to Pateros and Brewster, the two towns you can see in that shot. Beautiful view there. And speaking of beautiful, the Hay Canyon camera looking right down towards the Wenatchee Valley. Look at that sunrise. That's pretty cool. Good morning to Cashmere. One of the things I have noticed over the last few days, traffic is very light almost everywhere. A lot of people, of course, with school not going on, and other people just working some half days or no days at all, or just taking some downtime for the holidays. Traffic has been quite a bit lighter than we would normally see. That's just fine by me. Quick little look at the outlook for the week for the inland Northwest. And as I mentioned already, it's going to be dry for the rest of the year, which is only 3 more days. We're under the influence of a ridge of high pressure, which is just off the Pacific coast. It's going to shift inland throughout the course of the week. By the time we get to Wednesday night into Thursday, here come the clouds, and then we start thinking about air stagnation because we're going to have very little wind, and we'll have the lid on. You know how that is by now. We get the air inversions every year at this time. Some of them last for just 3 or 4 days. Others can last for a month. We've had it before. Hopefully that won't be the case. But if you like sunshine, today, tomorrow, and Wednesday is your day, mixed in with a few clouds. From our friends at Colonial Vista Senior Living in Wenatchee, is where comfort care and community come together. Partly sunny today with a high of 31 after a high yesterday of 29 degrees. By the way, I didn't mention this as you look at the forecast. In case you missed it, we got 0.21 inches of rain on Christmas Day, and on Christmas Eve, we had 0.38 inches of rain. It was a wet Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. No snow down here, of course. Mostly sunny tomorrow, high of 33, mostly sunny Wednesday. And a high of about 35. The clouds will roll in Wednesday night as the ridge continues to move to the east. It'll be over Montana by Wednesday night, which means by New Year's Day, the inversion is here. Lots of clouds and a high of 37. You'll notice that there's very little precipitation in the forecast until we get to the weekend, and even then it ain't much. About a 30% chance of rain downstairs and a chance of snow upstairs. The snow level is going to hover right around 2,700 feet, and it's really not going to go anywhere. It's not going to get higher than 2,700 feet. It's not going to get much lower than 2,700 feet. So that's the demarcation line. Snow above that, rain below that. But again, really not much of a chance of that. Here comes the inversion just in time for the new year. Going to take a break and come back with your headlines on this Monday. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCW Life, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
Caught in a conflict? Family, workplace, neighbor, business, housing disputes? Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center provides mediation services, a cost-effective and efficient way to provide a written resolution to disputes and issues. Plus, we offer mediation training and community education on conflict resolution and communication skills. Contact us to learn more.
Hi, I'm Amanda Walden with A. Walden Insurance Group. Medicare can be overwhelming, but you don't have to figure it out alone. I've been helping people understand their Medicare options for over a decade. Medicare isn't a one-size-fits-all. I'll help you understand your coverage options so you can feel confident in your decisions. Let's find the right Medicare plan for you. Call me today or come and see me at my office located on South Chelan Avenue in Wenatchee between the YMCA and the Social Security office. I look forward to meeting you soon.
Craving fresh Asian comfort food? Steam Panda is Wenatchee's popular, family-friendly Asian restaurant. They focus on providing guests with delicious, healthy, fresh, and natural dishes for an affordable price. Warm up with one of their many popular house-made soup dumplings, ramen noodles, or pho dishes. And make sure to ask about their lunch and chef specials on sushi rolls. Steam Panda's Hawaiian poke bowl and salads are excellent with your favorite boba tea. Stop by or order online at Steam Panda today.
Little on the cool side, 25 degrees, right about the freezing mark for the next couple of days. Slightly warmer than that on Wednesday. Quite a bit of sunshine mixed with a few high clouds through Wednesday, just in time for 2026. The air inversion will be upon us. We'll see milder temperatures, lots of gray skies, and a chance of some rain in the valley. It's 9 minutes after the hour. One person is dead after a shooting back on December 19th. It was an officer-involved shooting just outside of Tenasket, and a special police unit is investigating. Chief Ryan Moody, one of the coordinators of the North Central Washington Special Investigations Unit, says the shooting arose from an effort by the U.S. Marshals Service Special Operations Group. They were trying to arrest a suspect near the intersection of Spur Drive and Summit Lake Road. That's about 10 miles east of Ellisford. Now, during that operation, the SIU says the male suspect contacted members of the Marshals Group. While armed with a shotgun, the suspect was subsequently shot and killed by law enforcement. The suspect has not been identified. U.S. Marshals say he was wanted on charges of assault and intimidating a public servant. Okanagan County Sheriff Paul Boudreau asked the SIU team to review the shooting to help determine whether it was carried out lawfully. The team is composed of officers from all 4 police agencies in Chelan and Douglas counties. Fish hatcheries around Chelan County are on the road to recovery from the recent atmospheric river event. The Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife shared photos of several affected hatcheries, including the Chihuahua hatchery. That's where staff spent the night in a bunkhouse to monitor their facility during the flooding. Photos also show the backup pump platform during the flooding at the Nason Creek hatchery and debris that was left after the water receded at the Dryden Pond hatchery. And of course, the Leavenworth National Fish Hatchery is federally managed. Well, the trails around there are now reopened after the removal of hazardous trees, though the hatchery says its fish ladder sustained damage and all the tribal fishing platforms washed away. Fish and Wildlife said flooding preparations includes testing backup power systems, work around the clock to clean the debris from intake screens, and adjust channels and to allow floodwaters to bypass facilities. After the storms, staff assessed the damage and began the cleanup. Cascade School District is warning people to stay away from Rattlesnake Hill. It's directly behind Cascade High School in Leavenworth. After the city was hit by the severe windstorm and flooding earlier this month, the district said downed trees and rocks were rolling down Rattlesnake Hill towards the buildings. The district has issued several reminders to stay off the trail, but it says people are still trying to use the trail. Cascade Schools says the hill is dangerous and staying away from it will help avoid injury and avoid damaging school property. The district is asking people to steer clear of the local landmark until the dangerous trees have been removed. With the windstorms and flooding of 2025 a done deal now, Chelan County's longest-serving commissioner took a look back at the crisis. Kevin Overbay voted with his fellow commissioners for an emergency declaration after the atmospheric river that knocked out power and flooded homes throughout the county. Overbay took stock of the damage on the most recent Chelan County Connections podcast.
I would say Western County, basically the Leavenworth area and Stehekin are really the two hardest hit. Leavenworth, Lake Wenatchee, and Stehekin area. Stehekin probably being the hardest hit because they have such a small population. They only have they don't have the infrastructure that maybe a larger city has or incorporated or even unincorporated area. Usually it's one road. They've had washout from that. They already have a fragile infrastructure system in place for their power, their water, their wastewater. And so their facilities were destroyed. The wastewater facility was destroyed there. And so there's just with the slides, with the down trees, with the flooding, they, I think, are the hardest hit. We've had communities like Leavenworth, Stehekin especially, extremely impacted by this flooding all up the valley. Down trees, still power out in some areas. We've had restaurants that have lost their stock, of reserve food and things like that they've had. There's just been huge financial losses. The upside is of course we did a emergency declaration, and what it does is it really helps speed up the process to recovery. I will say that my hat's off to the emergency workers that are out there, that have been there. Our sheriff's department has just done a fantastic job. Public Works, hats off to the PUD line folks that are out there trying to get that power up in really bad, environment. And just trying to make sure that the utilities are up for folks to be able to get back to some sense of normalcy. Our dispatchers, our communications folks, everybody is just really pulling their weight and more.
A Moses Lake paving company is not going to have to pay extra interest in a 17-year-long dispute with its subcontractor on a road project. That was the finding last week from the Washington Court of Appeals. Central Washington Asphalt was hired by the State Department of Transportation for a 2006 road construction project on Highway 17. The company then hired Cascade Concrete Industries of Burlington to provide sound-absorbing barriers along Highway 17. With about $900,000 in cost overruns, which Central Washington Asphalt refused to pay, Cascade sued them in 2008 and eventually won just $600,000 from a Grant County jury. In its appeal, the concrete firm said it should have been awarded interest at 18% rather than the 12% interest the jury approved. The 2-1 appellate court ruling found in favor of Central Washington Asphalt and denied the higher amount. Appellate Judge George Fearing dissented in the case. The Washington Office of the Superintendent of Public Instruction highlighted school-based threat assessment in a recent video it published to social media. OSPI has what it calls a, quote, three-pronged approach, end quote, to threats of violence against students and staff, which involves comprehensive school safety, threat assessment, and behavioral health and suicide prevention. The video features multiple school safety officials who explain the multi-tiered protocol that the state takes to identify and assess students of concern. Hunter McLeod is the Threat Assessment Coordinator for the North Central Educational Services District, and he joined the OSPI in the video and spoke about family involvement in school safety.
We're talking about families being key partners with threat assessment. One of the big things that I see as something that we can do to really get them on board is the way that we talk to our families at the beginning of the school years. And that's not necessarily coming from us as ESDs, but when we're talking with our districts about ways to really get them engaged, a lot of us recommend or advise getting wording out at the beginning of the school years, talking through how to do anonymous reporting for both parents and students, making sure that parents are aware of the school safety measures that we put in place. A lot of times those aren't things that we in education broadcast that we're proud of, because it's something that we think of more retroactively and reactively. And so to put that out front and get parents aware of the things that we're doing is really helpful and beneficial. And then making sure that parents know where they can get that information from and who to reach out to if they need to, whether that's the ESD contacts, whether that's the district person, or it's going on to OSPI's website, finding out who they need to contact there. All of us are key players in helping support our families and parents so that way they feel like their kids supported and they understand why we're doing this. And that's where I think there's a lot of discrepancy as parents unfortunately hear the word threat assessment and they think something terrible because of the word threat, and then we end up having to backtrack and explain how supportive this document or this system can be to keep their kid in school versus it being something where, you know, it's this horrible thing because there's a threat. But if we're using this as a preventative model to figure out, hey, we just want to know why your kiddo is feeling this way, how can we support them, what can we do to get them help and support so they're safe, it helps parents understand a little bit more behind the scenes of what we're doing with threat assessment.
And finally, on this Monday, the Colville Confederated Tribes were awarded more than $392,000 in federal grant money for a roadway safety project on their reservation. The funding was secured by Senator Maria Cantwell, and it comes from the U.S. Department of Transportation's Safe Streets and Roads for All program. The Colville Tribes will use the money for their Assessing Safety in Transportation project. Work will include updating crash data, developing an ADA transition plan, and transforming their 2021 safety plan into a comprehensive safety action plan for the reservation. Statewide, $88 million was secured for 78 different streets and safety projects. And that's one good-looking sunrise. But don't change the channel, stay here. In fact, never ever change the channel. Just put it on whatever channel this is on right now and then break the knob. You never have to worry about it again. The news will come your way tonight at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock, 5, 6, and 10, right here on television, or as we like to say in the business, television. If that doesn't work for you, we'll have it online via YouTube right around 5 o'clock. We'll put a link in our Facebook page. We're on Roku. We're on Apple TV. We're on the Amazon Fire thing. I don't have any of those things, so I really don't know what that means. We also have an email address. I have one of those, too. The email address here for News Tips is news@ncwlife.com. It wasn't pretty, but a win is a win. Seahawks lead sports. When we come back, you're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
You come alive in the dead of winter and start work early on snow days, because snowed in is not an option. The Kubota Snow lineup of compact tractors, RTVs, and versatile attachments are built to move, plow, blow, and thrive in the winter. So when the snow falls, you could rise to meet it. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment with 0% financing available or save up to $4,300.
Order ready for Susan?
During the holiday rush, those might be the best words you can hear all week. At Abby's, you get a night off from cooking, a place to gather with family, and easy holiday catering that everybody loves. For legendary pizza and hospitality, visit Abby's.com. Aloha and Mele Kaliki Maca from Abby's. End your year with a tropical twist. Our big Hawaiian pizza at a legendary holiday price. Plus, earn $5, $10, $20 or more in free pizza with our holiday gift card offer. Abby's, a legendary holiday pizza tradition.
Welcome Welcome to Mountain Chick Floral, your go-to flower and plant shop in downtown Wenatchee. Explore their wide variety of unusual and fun plants. And when you buy a plant in a container, they'll pot it up for you absolutely free. Birthday or weddings, they'll create the perfect floral arrangement for you. Brighten up your office with fresh blooms delivered to your door or business. Ask about floral subscriptions. Visit Mountain Chick Floral today, where every occasion is a reason to celebrate with flowers.
For over 35 years, the Sangster family has been not only representing GMC, but the entire community.
As one of the few family-owned dealerships in Washington, you can count on our personal integrity, which has spanned over 3 generations, to ensure your satisfaction.
Sangster Motors stands behind everything we sell, from GMC professional-grade products and service from a professional-grade dealership.
Remember, caring about your family is what brings you back to ours.
Sports at 21 after the hour. Zach Charbonnet, good game. He ran for over 100 yards, scored a couple of touchdowns. Seahawks turned a couple of third-quarter Carolina Panther turnovers into touchdowns, and they ran away. 27-10 was the final, so they're just this close to their first NFC West title since 2020. Sam Darnold overcame an interception in the end zone. He was 18 for 27, 147 yards, and a touchdown. The Hawks have now won 6 in a row, but they will need to beat the 49ers in Santa Clara on Saturday night to win the division and clinch home field advantage throughout the playoffs. Head coach Mike McDonald said, yeah, it took a little while, but eventually they got the job done.
Great. Look, it was a great win by our guys. I feel like it's the same story every week, but we didn't flinch. The big emphasis this week was like, can we stack plays in all 3 phases? It took us a half to do it, but I felt like in the second half we did a great job by responding to the takeaway. DeMarcus Lawrence had a phenomenal play. Then we were able to punch it in. A.J. Barner was really a spark plug for us on offense. And then come back with another takeaway with Julian in a phenomenal play. And then just go finish out in the fourth quarter. I feel like it was cool to end the game in a 4-minute touchdown. I thought that was something that we've been wanting to get done all year. And the guys did a great job. So, fly back home and get ready for next week.
Zach Charbonnet had a big game. Julian Love had a big game. DeMarcus Lawrence had a big game. And they all talked about that to the media afterwards.
Yeah, I just think that shows our mentality. We played gritty football. We played downhill. So, once again, shout out to the line for just doing their job and allowing me to just make a cut and get in. Yeah, it's definitely something we've continued to harp on and will continue to harp on. Definitely not satisfied yet, so we're going to keep building on that and keep attacking that.
Yeah, I thought I was going to get the pick on the spray out. Didn't spray out. So just hinge and then saw kind of his eyes open up. Had a little seam. Was able to make a play. Yeah, we felt good defensively. We felt like we were doing good stuff. That first half was great. They had that one drive, but we just knew we got to get the ball. Get our offense just a shorter field opportunity to just, put the ball in the end zone. And so, yeah, that was critical. That stretches. That's how we've been this year. I think we chip away, we work on our process, do all the things. But at the end of the day, people just make plays, and when you make plays, it just creates a spark.
Dynamic of us taking care of each other, fighting for each other. Offense make a mistake, defense helps. Defense make a mistake, offense is right there to have our back. So just a testament to the brotherhood that we have here and the football that we're playing.
There is your scoreboard. Man, there was a lot of football. You had games on Thursday, and then you had games on Sunday or Saturday, and games yesterday, and games today. Anyway, here's the deal. Seahawks and 49ers will play a winner-take-all game Saturday night at 5 on ABC and ESPN. A Seattle victory would make them the number 1 seed in the NFC. If Seattle loses, the Hawks will fall all the way to either a 5 or 6 seed. That's the way it goes. Philip Grubauer stopped 31 shots. Eli Tolvanen scored twice in the third period. And the Kraken are all of a sudden playing really good. You can make it 4 in a row now for Seattle. They beat Philadelphia in Seattle 4-1 last night. Jordan Eberle and Chandler Stevenson also scored for the Kraken. Their win streak is now 4. Remember, they lost at one point 10 out of 11. Tolvanen and Stevenson each had an assist, too.
Helped out by Beniers and Eberle. Out to center. Matty wins a battle. He's got it. Beniers holding onto it. He'll circle the wagons. Pull up. Take it to the outside. Kako. Eberle. He scores! That's hockey Kuntz with 16-12 left in the second period.
Maybe if your stick's down, you might get a piece of it.
Larson through center. And now Vladar leaves it for Sanheim. Tolvin in. Stevenson. He scores! Just like that. Ellie Tolvin sets up Chandler Stevenson. And the Kraken have a 2-0 lead. 4:17 left. 2-0 Kraken. Cale Fleury. Tied up by Andre Konechny. Sneaks in. Shut down by Grubauer. Left out in front. Sends it deeper now. Tippett hounded a bit by Gaudreau. Konechny off a stick off Stevenson. A foot race. Stevenson attempting to win it. He has Tolvanen in front. And it goes in. Off Ellie Tolvanen. Heads up play by Chandler Stevenson. Those two connect again. In the Kraken looking for their 8th win on home ice. The late offside here against Seattle. It comes out. Obels threads a pass for Grundstrom. A shot off the goal post. They hesitated. It was waved off by the official.
I thought it went in, Johnny.
See if we get a look here. Yeah, that definitely hits the back.
Carl Grundstrom has goals in consecutive games. He'll take it to the outside. There goes Vladar. 6 skaters out. Tolvanen hits the bullseye. Hey, what do you say? 4-1, Seattle. 7 seconds left. Outstanding effort, as they say, from the goal out. They count it out. That's Kraken hockey, baby.
The head coach of the Kraken, Lane Lambert, gave lots of credit to Philip Grubauer between the pipes. And good news, Jared McCann is back, our top scorer. He missed most of this month with an injury.
Yeah, really important. I thought for the most part, we talked about it this morning about how there's potential for, a little bit sloppiness or whatever. I thought if we were sloppy at times, although I didn't think we were that sloppy, our goaltender played great for us, and that's what you need. But overall, I liked our team game. I liked the way we're playing for each other. And I thought that our structure, for the most part, was pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, the first game after the break is always a little bit scrambly, but yeah, unbelievable job tonight. We got to keep building, keep doing the right things. Before the road trip there, we played pretty great and didn't get the bounces sometimes and didn't get the outcome we wanted, and now we found a way to be successful in certain areas. Yeah.
I mean, Gruby was awesome for us to make huge saves. Our PK was great tonight. We didn't give him too much, but when we did, obviously Gruby was there to back us up. So, kudos to him. And obviously we need to come out with the same effort tomorrow.
Yeah, these games after the break, sometimes they're, you're a little lethargic, but we don't really have the option to not play well. I mean, the standings are what they are. We got to find a way to climb, and we've done that as of late. We got another chance tomorrow. It's pretty tight, so we got to keep going.
No rest for the wicked, though. They turn right around and play again tonight. They'll take on the last place Vancouver Canucks at Climate Pledge Arena. The puck will drop at 7 o'clock tonight on Prime and Kong TV. Women's college basketball, the Cougar women won for just the second time of the year, and it was a conference game that helps. They won, and it took Gonzaga and Loyola Marymount 2 overtimes. It doesn't say so on the screen, but it was a double overtime game. Gonzaga knocked off Loyola Marymount in women's basketball 87-80. Men's score, the Cougars opened West Coast Conference play with a win. And the Zags, believe it or not, have beaten Pepperdine 50 consecutive games. That's hard to believe, and they beat them bad down in Malibu. The final there was 96-56. Girls high school basketball over the weekend, pretty light schedule. They'll have a lot of holiday festivals coming up, by the way, this week. There'll be a lot of high school basketball, but not really a lot over the weekend. There's your Saturday prep girls basketball scoreboard, and the boys, 3 games on Saturday. Your winners, Moses Lake, Ephrata, and Kittitas. Well, the Wenatchee Wild flipped a 3-2 deficit into a 5-3 lead in the third period, and then they held on for a 5-4 victory in Spokane against the Chiefs. Riley Basson made his debut with the Wenatchee Wild, and he made it a memorable one.
Zone comes up the right side, throws it on net, saved by Essen, rebound and a score. Essler kicked that rebound out front, and that thing hammered home by the Wild in 59 seconds. It's Wenatchee 1-0. Now take it away. Now the puck comes free to Burkhardt. Fires it one, but on the rebound, here comes Harrington, and he scores! Chase Harrington on the doorstep, and Spokane has even this game at 1 with 7:08 left to go in the first period. Overskated the puck, and now the Wild back with it. Throw it out front, a shot and a score. So Remba overskating the puck at the blue line led to an odd man rush, and Torrey buries it, and it's now 2-1 in favor of Wenatchee. Ahead for Armstrong, drops it down. Now Remba out front, Armstrong's open, he gets in, backhanded, scores! Coco Armstrong, beautiful pass from Sam Aremba, and Spokane has tied this game at 2 with 13:55 left in the second. Here comes Martin. He's got Warmold with him, 2-on-1. Martin out front, Warmold shoots and scores! Perfectly executed, 2-on-1 odd man rush, and Spokane with a 3-2 lead with 9:08 left to go in the second. Vanek right side throws a shot, save made by Essler, and then backed in as Basson took it from behind the net and threw it off of Essler and in the net, and another early goal, and the Wenatchee Wild have tied this game at 3. Ahead, Grosskloss, now Caffey comes in, fires a shot, no, he's celebrating as the waved off by the official. Caffey is contending that he scored. Official waved it off, saying it was off the bar. So they're going to have to take a look at it. Now it's a 3-on-2. Sherbina, left side shot and score. Chiefs caught up ice again. And things just falling apart for Spokane, as Kraft is going to get the easy goal. And it's now 5-3 Wenatchee. Peter gets it out to Sather. Now it's Warmold left side, puts it on net, and a tip and a score! Coco Armstrong out front, tips it in, and Spokane now within 1 with 2:22 left here in the third.
That was Saturday in Spokane. Yesterday, the two teams made up again at the Town Toyota Center. What a heartbreaker. Spokane scores the winning goal with less than 2 seconds left in regulation.
So Sather finding Warmold. That one walked away from him. Wrist shot. Blocked on the chance from Martin. Looking to go back door, and an outstanding save. Coming across the net, Tobias Tversnik. My gosh, what a save. Another backside rebound, and Tversnik slams the door on that one. Buck and a quarter left in the Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning power play. 14 minutes remaining in the second period. The Wild and the Chiefs scoreless. Over the blue line, Wenatchee almost came in offside. Wrist shot, Sherbina, he scores! Power up! Kraft trying to get to it near corner. Just kind of yawned onto his stick, and Essler able to get back in position. Toll with a wrist shot, he scores! Was it touched? No, it wasn't. Josh Toll finally has one. In the corner, Preston feeds it out to the right point for Harrington. Buck and a quarter left on the power play for Spokane. Preston with a wrist shot, they score. Near wing Mattern. Back for Sather. Cycles it left wing. Over the line on time is Sarkanoff. Plays it into the far corner for Brody Gillespie. Trying to play it out front. They send it home and score, and this game is tied. It is Chase Harrington who scored the first goal of the game for Spokane last night to tie it at 1. Today his goal ties it at 2. Stolen. Aremba off the pass from Armstrong. Return for Armstrong. Sends it back door. Diving sticks. Bodies in the passing lane down the slot. And it's in. They score. Coco Armstrong finds a way and gets a bounce. Chance from the left point is blocked. Checked into the wall. In the corner was McIsaac. Back to the left point. Tate with a try. They score! This game is tied! Boston Tate makes his point known. A point shot Rimmed on the end wall. It's going to keep going into the hands of McIsaac. Cleared out right point Toll. One shot for Sherbina. It's blocked. Mattern took the worst of it. Aremba driving to the net. He scores with under a second to go. A buzzer beater for Spokane, and they're going to win it 4-3.
Tough loss. The Wild have one more game before the new year comes in. That's New Year's Eve, 5 o'clock, so it's an early puck drop. It'll be Wednesday at the Town Toyota Center with the Seattle Thunderbirds in town, and those are just some of the games that people are playing. Before we move on to the obscure holiday, I want to wish everybody in Mongolia a happy Independence Day. So for you Mongolians out there, happy Independence Day, from whom I don't know. Genghis Khan, it doesn't say. The obscure holiday is the soup that saved the war, so they said. Valley Forge, December 29th, 1777. Things weren't going real good, of course, for George and the crew and all the hangers-on. For one thing, all the local farmers in southeastern Pennsylvania had sold all of their crops to the British Army because the British Army were paying their money that they actually could buy stuff with. The Continental Army had money too, but the farmers in Pennsylvania said it's not worth anything, so they sold most of their food to the British, which meant they were hungry and starving. And George went to the head cook at Valley Forge and said, can you make the guys something that's hearty, that'll make them feel good? So he grabbed everything he could find hanging around the camp, other ingredients, whatever meat was around, tripe, and a whole bunch of pepper. Whole bunch of peppercorn, put it all in there, stirred it up in the big vault, and came up with pepper pot stew. And apparently it did the job. It warmed the men's tummies. It improved morale. That's what George wanted. And from this day forward, it's been known as Pepper Pot Day today. It's sometimes called Philadelphia pepper pot stew. Basically, you just grab whatever's in the fridge, heat it up, and put a lot of pepper on it so you can actually eat it. And you can actually buy pepper pot stew from Campbell's. Enjoy. Today in history, guess that flag. Let you take a quick look. See, it's kind of obvious, I think. Happy birthday to Texas. Texas is 180 years old today. Texas joined, of course, the Union as an independent nation. In fact, over the years, Texas has flown the flags of 6 different nations. First, they were, of course, Spanish. Then they flew the Mexican flag, then the flag of France. Then after the Louisiana Purchase, it was the Republic of Texas, and then they joined the Confederacy, and they flew the Confederate flag, and finally the United States flag, of course. Second in size behind Alaska, second in population behind California. If Texas was a country, it would have the 10th largest economy in the world. It has 254 counties. By far more than any other state, 254 counties. We only got 39. They don't like Democrats in Texas. They have not elected a Democrat to statewide office, and there's a lot of them, in 30 years. That's remarkable. A couple of sobering things about Texas. The rate at which Texas women die from complications of pregnancy is 24 per 100,000. That's the highest maternal mortality rate in the developed world, not just in the States. And 40% of all the executions in this country takes place in Texas, which is why they don't have any violent crime. Happy birthday to Texas. Strangest plane crash you'll ever hear of. December 29, 1972, 53 years ago today, Eastern Airlines Flight 401 is getting ready to land at Miami International Airport. They're in their landing route, getting ready to go. They lower the landing gear. The lower landing gear went down. The green light came on. It's locked in. The nose landing gear, it went down. It locked in, but the light bulb didn't go on, indicating that the front wheel, the landing gear on the front of the airplane was actually locked down. Turns out, and they didn't know this, the 2 pilots and the engineer, that the bulb had simply burned out, but they needed to confirm. And so they started to fiddle around what's going on with this. They went into a holding pattern going around the airport. The engineer could actually crawl down a ladder in the cockpit to physically inspect the landing gear to make sure it was locked down, because they were trying to, they can't land unless they know the front landing gear is locked down. He went down there with a flashlight, and during all of his troubleshooting one of the 3 people in the cockpit accidentally bumped the yoke, and that caused the autopilot to go off, and they didn't know it, and the plane kept circling around and around and getting lower and lower and lower and lower, and eventually it crashed into the Everglades. 101 of the 176 on board died. Paul Bear Bryant coached his last football game on the state in 1982, 43 years ago today. It was the Liberty Bowl. They beat Illinois for his finale. The final was 21-17, and that was it for Paul Bear Bryant. In the post-game press conference, the press said, "What are you going to do now that you don't have any coaching?" And he said, "I'll probably die in a week." 4 weeks later, while he was visiting his doctor in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, he died of a heart attack. And finally, they wrote a check. They cleared the bank. On December 29th, 2006, 19 years ago today, the UK paid back their loan. This is when they got their loan. Of course, at the end of World War II, the United Kingdom had like no dough, none. You take all the money in the world and get rid of it, and that's how much money England had. And so the United States loaned them a bunch of money, $3.75 billion at a 2% interest rate. And on this date in 2006, after getting the loan in 1946, they repaid the amount. The total amount repaid, $7.5 billion on a $3.75 billion loan. Thank you very much, Great Britain. Birthdays. We always do presidents. Andrew Johnson, who had the unenviable task of following Abe, the 17th president of the United States, born into abject poverty in Raleigh, North Carolina, never ever went to formal public schools or even private schools for that much. When he was the senator of Tennessee, and Tennessee seceded from the Union, he was the only United States senator not to resign after his state seceded from the Union. He, of course, was impeached by the House, but was acquitted by 1 vote. He was drunk when he was sworn in as vice president in March of 1865. And after the war was over, he moved back to Tennessee and was reelected to the Senate. He is the only former president to serve in the Senate after his presidency. Billy Tipton. He played the saxophone, he played the piano, he was the leader of the Billy Tipton Trio, which is a very popular club and dance hall band in Spokane in the 1960s and 70s. Billy Tipton was married. Billy Tipton was married for 29 years. When he got married to his wife, he said, "I can't have children." He didn't explain why. He said, "I can't have children." She said, "That's cool, we'll adopt kids." They did. They ended up adopting 3 sons. Billy Tipton and his wife, married for 29 years, never went to a doctor, became violently ill. In 1989, he begged his kids not to call the paramedics or the ambulance, but Dad was sick. They called him anyway, and the paramedics discovered while they were working on Billy Tipton that Billy Tipton was a girl, born and raised. Mary Tyler Moore, born in the state in 1936. Can't believe she's been gone for 9 years. Of course, the Mary Tyler Moore Show, the iconic Mary Tyler Moore Show, and she got an Academy Award nomination in addition for her acting work in, what was the name of that really good movie in the early 80s? I just forgot. Anyway, Mary Tyler Moore. And Ted Danson. He is 78 years old today. Played Sam Malone on Cheers for 11 years. In those 11 years, he was nominated for Best Actor in a Comedy 11 times and won twice. That's not bad. He went 11 and 11. For Heat and Air, call Alpine Air. For Heat and Air, call Alpine Air. The big exciting news around here is that they have decided to continue with their platinum sponsorship. Going to take a break, and then one of my favorite interviews from last year, or the year that's almost going to be last year, a tour with Alan Walker and the brand new facilities at the Community Action Council's new headquarters on North Wenatchee Avenue. Alan, when we come back. Ordinary people.
NCW Life Channel is your local TV station. We believe in being the spotlight and mirror to the communities we serve in North Central Washington. Programming on NCW Life would not be possible without our sponsors. Special thanks to our platinum sponsor, Alpine Air. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air.
Central Washington Water understands the power of healing waters. If part of your wellness routine includes hot heat from a sauna, Central Washington Water now carries indoor and outdoor infrared and hot rock saunas by Tilo. Research shows there are many health benefits to a cold plunge after a good workout or relaxing time in your sauna. Harness the power of water in a hot spring spa, plug-and-play spas, a Tilo sauna, or a cold plunge tub. Stop by Central Washington Water, your wellness experts.
Hey, welcome back to Save Mart. What can we help you find today?
We're looking for a mattress.
Oh, right this way. We got a large selection. We have this pillow top here.
Oh, comfortable.
We have more to choose from down here.
Oh.
I think I have the perfect one over here for you.
I guess we'll take this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, I just read a Facebook post from somebody I like and admire, always have. But the poster recounted a totally disagreeable contact with a local politician of a certain party. This poster then posted, and I quote, "This is why I think people of that party are callous and insensitive. It's because their leadership at both local and national levels, they act callous and insensitive too." Now what is it when you categorize all members of a group by behavior of some of the members of the group? What is that called? What do we call that? And why is it okay to condemn prejudice in others but justify it in oneself? This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
The holiday season is here, and life is hectic. Let Merry Maids help simplify yours. You expect a lot, and Merry Maids delivers more. They'll make your home or business sparkle for holiday parties, special events, and family gatherings. They'll customize the cleaning to fit your needs and your budget. Merry Maids are cleaning experts. They're licensed, bonded, and insured. Best of all, your satisfaction is always guaranteed. Visit online, merrymaids.com, and call for a free estimate. Then you can relax. It's done.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCW Life, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
Welcome back to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We're in the brand new headquarters of the Chelan-Douglas Community Action Council. They're all under one roof. Alan has talked about this before. Alan Walker, the executive director. There was at one point about 5 years ago when your organization had 6 different locations.
Four, but yes. Yes.
Storage areas there, and a building
Mm-hmm.
here, and an office there, and food distribution there. And you talked about how badly you needed to be under one roof.
Yeah.
And about 10 days ago, this long time goal. How long did this take?
28 months from the purchase of the property. So,
28 months from the purchase of the property, the old C&O nursery here on North Wenatchee Avenue, to today. You look pretty happy, my friend, or relieved. Which is the right word?
Both. Yeah, happy and relieved. It was a bit of a journey to reach this place, but yes, we finally got moved in about 10 days ago. Fully got operational here just this past week, and so we're happy to be here. The staff is happy. It's just a great environment to welcome our folks coming in, looking for a little bit of extra help, and for our staff to show up here every morning as well.
When you have a brand new facility like this, it kind of lifts everybody up, doesn't it?
It does, yes, and we're really fortunate. We're able to do all new desks and tables and chairs like you see here. It's just warm and inviting. Lots of natural light coming in. It's just a beautiful space.
It's hard for me to explain when I walked into the lobby here about 20 minutes ago what it used to look like when it was still, because when you moved in, you purchased it from C&O. You bought the whole thing. You immediately moved your food distribution into this area because you had the room to do it.
Yeah.
You built the big Sub-Zero freezers and the refrigerators because you had all the elbow room, but the offices were essentially unchanged.
Yes.
And you would walk into the lobby, which was not open to the public anyway, and it was like walking into a 1979 office building with wires hanging from the ceilings and old furniture and desks and things like that, to what you have now. I didn't even recognize it.
No, it is night and day. Yes, when you walked into it, it was that 1970s office feel. The ashtrays had been removed, but other than that, that was about it. And it served its function for the Snyder family, for C&O Nursery, and it worked well for them. And when we bought the facility, we had a vision of what we hoped it would look like, and honestly, it's beyond my vision.
Who did the draftsman work? Because they basically had a blank slate to work with to build these new rooms that never existed before. Who took care of that process?
That was Forte Architect, Chris down there with Forte Architect. This was actually the third property he designed for us, because we had looked at 2 other locations previously, and then we finally settled on this place, and Chris did all the design work for us, and had some outside help, as architects do, with engineers and things like that, but he designed it and laid it out for us, and then we worked with Vexical Consulting and Contracting. They're our general contractor on the project, and they helped bring it all to life.
What was the biggest need at your old location on Lewis Street that is now no longer a concern now that you're here?
I would say 3. Let's count them down. So one is just having everybody in one location. Just the ability to see all the staff and communicate on a whim, if you will. So that's one of the big advantages. 2 is opening the food pantry. So we're able to open another food pantry for our community here. And 3 is the space we're in right now. We created a meeting and training room that'll be open for public use as well. We hope to have that available starting in 2026. There's lots of logistics to get figured out on how to make that all work. But we were constantly going off-site for our staff training, for our AmeriCorps program training, and now we can do it all right here and create another space for our community to have access to as well.
Alma and her outstanding organization will be closing the deal on your Lewis Street property.
Yes.
Which is a win-win-win-win. It's like a quadruple win for everybody there.
Yes. Yeah. So their cafe is purchasing our property there on Lewis Street that we've been in for 60 years. We were fortunate, as I said earlier, to purchase new desks and tables and chairs here for our new location. So we're leaving all of our existing furnishings for a cafe, which they're excited about. And it's a big upgrade for them, just as this was an upgrade for us.
Let's talk about one of the reasons that they needed this campus and this new building and the extra space is that the demand for Allen's services at the Chelan-Douglas Community Action Council has never been higher. We're butting up against a significant deadline for SNAP benefits that the United States Congress doesn't seem to be sitting on their hands about.
Yes.
Where are we as we get closer to a pretty nerve-wracking time for you folks?
It is, especially in the world of food security. So SNAP benefits are supporting around 12,000 people here in Chelan-Douglas County. And 12,000. 12,000. And when that benefit ends come October 31st, if we're still in a shutdown, that's going to have a tremendous impact on people, on our neighbors right here. And they are going to be looking for other ways to access nutritional and food supplements for their home pantries, and they'll be looking at our organization and the other pantries in the 2-county area that we support through this place as well.
Timing couldn't be worse because Mike Malman and his fine folks at Wenatchee Valley, of course, had the flood. They lost all of their perishable foods and most of their non-perishable foods, which put even more strain on you folks.
Yeah, we saw an immediate impact when that occurred here just 2 weeks ago, a little over 2 weeks ago now. And we've been addressing that, and now we're looming at another one in the next couple of weeks coming up.
It's Tuesday the 21st as we record this. Congresswoman Kim Schreier will be visiting with you later on this afternoon.
Yes.
Some of it's going to be celebratory.
Yeah.
She and the other federal lawmakers and the local lawmakers played a significant role in getting this done.
They really did. We received support from Schreier's office for federal appropriation. Representative Mike Still at the state level helped us out with a state appropriation, and then our 2 county governments and a half a dozen local city governments all supported this effort, along with countless individual donors, private supporters, other grants that we were able to secure. It really has been an effort to raise the funding. We wanted to complete this project and without a financial burden on the organization long term, and that's what we're able to accomplish.
Can you believe it's actually a reality after you and I have been talking about this for 2.5, 3 years?
It has been, and the time away has not occurred for about 12 months now. I'm looking forward to a little vacation in January of 2026.
As are your coworkers.
As are my coworkers as well. Everybody's just been working full steam on this, and the board as well. We've gone through a changeover in board members as well. Been at this for 2.5 years almost now, and so different board members, and so it's bringing along new board members and helping them see the vision of what this has become.
Again, it's hard to put into words. Hopefully we have the pictures of how much this building has changed since you closed the deal. It's absolutely remarkable. It's a beautiful facility. It's going to serve you for years to come.
Yes.
And every room has a purpose.
Every room has a purpose, and you mentioned the transformation that this space has seen, and I'm hoping to do kind of a photo montage, if you will, on one of the walls, perhaps in this training room, of what the building was and what it is now.
Alan Walker, it's good to see you, my friend. Anything else on your mind while I have you here?
We will be doing an open house. We don't know when yet, but we're, all the holidays and everything coming up, and we're still wrapping up some things here, as we've talked about, a couple of things to finish up before it's all done, but we may do that after the first of the year.
Alan Walker, the Executive Director of the Chelan-Douglas Community Action Council. This is a beautiful campus. It's well-deserved. It's going to get well-loved. And let's get this taken care of before it may not be a very happy Halloween for 12,000 people around here come November 1st.
Yes.
Let's all row the boat in the same direction.
Absolutely.
Good to see you, Alan.
Good to see you as well.
You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
BC Outdoor Sport Fishing TV, Season 14. Join your host Mike Mitchell and his special guests as they explore some of the most exciting fisheries BC has to offer. BC Outdoors Sport Fishing TV. Check your listings for airtimes.
I'm Jen Mueller. Watch for my show, I Cook, You Measure, on NCW Life. It's part cooking instruction, part entertainment, and all about connecting over food and wine with your favorite Northwest athletes.
Watch I Cook, You Measure with Jen Mueller Mondays at 1, Wednesdays at 2, Fridays at 11 a.m., and Saturday and Sundays at 10:30 p.m. right here on the NCW Life channel.
It was 25 degrees when this show started. It's 25 degrees still. Sunshine today, tomorrow, and right through the very last day of the year, Wednesday. And then here come the clouds. We'll see temperatures getting milder. We'll be pushing 40 degrees by the weekend. But the air inversion that we're so used to and we haven't had yet is coming. So from the National Weather Service, here you go. Filtered sunshine today. We'll see some high clouds, kind of like what we have right now. And we'll get up to about 31. We got up to 29 yesterday, so not quite to the freezing mark today. Just a couple of clouds tonight, 21 for the overnight low. Tuesday, the eve of the eve, lots of sunshine. We won't see as many clouds tomorrow as we're going to have today with a high of 33. We're under the influence of a ridge of high pressure that's shifting from the Pacific Ocean towards Idaho and Montana. It'll be at its apex on Tuesday and Tuesday night. By Wednesday evening, it will begin to move out of the area, so lots of sunshine Wednesday, warmer still. high of 35. And then the clouds will be here, and another ridge of high pressure will trap the clouds and the fog, and air inversion is definitely in the mix for the first day of the year, as you can tell by that special icon we put for Thursday. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.